Dun 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 dun. Mochiville remote. It's time for Mochiville remote to begin today. Well, hello there. I'm filling in for Mr. Rosenberg. What is my name? What could it be? What is this unicorn's name? This was a unicorn that came to our house just yesterday. We'll call her Sharma. I'm going to make sure my C is capitalized. Sharma. She won't leave, but we don't want her to. She's a beautiful unicorn with beautiful lashes. And she's friends with the unicorn up here. Can you see? But what is my name? My name is Penelop. Can you say Penelop? Good. This is Sylvester's from Philadelphia. And I'm imagining that I'm vacationing in Hawaii right now, drinking a fruity drink and listening to beautiful music. There were 3 friends. Friend A, some call Mark Twain, but we're going to call him Friend A. Or FA for short. He had books to read. During his shelter in place, he had 216 books to read. Friend B is Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest people who ever lived. Friend B, we're going to call, with a different color, FB. And he had 309 books to read during shelter in place. And last, and certainly not least, is friend C. This is Alan Turing, and we can thank him for having computers. He worked on computers. Friend C. How many books should he have? More or less? Maybe a little bit less than friend B, but more than friend A. Let's give friend C, or FC. That's kind of hard to see. I'm going to use black instead. Oh no. I'm going to use green. I'm going to try green. Friend C, or FC, is going to have 272 books to read. Now, kiddos, when thinking of this, I can give you a problem to solve. You're probably predicting a problem like, how many books do they have to read altogether? That's a good problem. We could solve that. You could have different problems though, right? Put the friends in order from least amount of books to greatest. Well, we know friend A has the least, then friend C, then friend B has the most. We could say, how many more books does friend B have than friend C? How many more books does friend B have than friend A? We could combine the totals of 2 of them and take away the third. Friend B and C are shelter in place. Add their books together and see how many more books they have than friend A. My point really with this, kids, is that you can come up with so many different problems, so many different ways to solve different things. I encourage you to solve problems in your own ways. As Penelop, I love solving problems. One I thought about was something we talk about a lot in math to help us, which is rounding. I want to round right now both to the nearest hundreds and tens. Hundreds and tens. Well, if I round 216 to the nearest hundred, I ask, is it closer to 200 or 300? And if you remember in our class, we looked at the number line and said 200, 300. And right in the middle is 250. And we figured out that this number here, 216, probably would go right about there, which means it gets rounded to 200. Now if we're rounding to the nearest 10, for 216, this is the nearest 10. We have to decide if it's 210 or if it's going to be 220. And right in the middle is 215. And right here would be 216. It's a little bit closer to 220. That's why we would round it up to 220. We do the same for 309. Is it closer to 300 or is it closer to 400? You got it. 300. 309. Is it closer to 300 or 310? I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to use a number line again to help me. 300's here. 310 is here. Right now, 305. 309 would be right here, right? So if that's the case, we round it to 310. 272. Closer to 200 or 300? That's the question. Right in the middle is 250. I think 272 will be right there. That would mean we round it up to 300. And the same thing here, 272. Is it closer to 270 or is it closer to 280? Well, I can see it's really closer to 270, isn't it? The purpose of rounding is to make a guess to help your math thinking. So when I think of this question here, I go, oh, 200, 300, 300. I know that red one erased a bit because of my left hand. Hello. We're recording right now. Ma'am. So I think to myself, oh, 200, 300, 300. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. 8, the zeros, 800. If I come over here, I can start with the zeros in the ones place and go, oh, 0. I can start with the tens place. 2, 3 plus 7. 2 plus 3. Oh, 2 plus 1. Sorry. Who makes the most mistakes all the time? Me. 2 plus 1 plus 7. 7, 8, 10. 10, isn't it? So this is a 0 in the tens place. We carry the 1 to the hundreds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. In this particular case, both of our estimates were 800. That means when we add these problems, we have to figure out, when we get the answer, are they both close to 800 or are they far away? And if they're far away, that means something to us, right? they're far away, that means that maybe our math is a bit wrong here. Should we try the math? I think so. How many books do friends A, B, and C have all together? Let's see. 216, 309, and 272. Now this is a traditional method. Off you go with your delicious chips. This is what's called the traditional method. I can use dots to help me, boys and girls. Let's say I forget. I know this is 6 dots. I know this is 9 dots. And I know this is 2 dots. I like to use different colors when I'm able to add up. You can count with me if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got 17. So I put the 7 in the 1's place and the 1 in the 10's. 1 dot. So I'm going to do it again. I'm just bringing the math down here. 1 dot. 0 dots, so really nothing. And 7 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9. So I got 9 dots in the 10's place. Nothing to carry over. I could use the dots again. 2 dots. 3 dots. 2 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7, didn't I? In the hundreds. I know that Mr. Rosenberg's been working with you a lot on fractions, and I think it's great to work on fractions. But this morning I wanted, with my friend Sharma and Sylvester, who ran away somewhere. Where is Sylvester? Oh well. With Sharma, Sylvester, my notebook full of magic and story ideas, I wanted to do a little different math. I hope it was okay to do. 797. Is that close to 800? Yeah. So our quick estimate would have helped us. Now when you get really good with estimating, you can do it mentally. Like 216 becomes 200, so I've got 200, 300, 300, 300, 600, 800. Amazing.